Welcome to episode 6 of Book Read. I'm very excited to be able to introduce you today. UK author, the amazing D.G.Torrens, talking about her book, Two for Joy. You're going to love this. Let's go and meet today's author. D.G.Torrens, welcome to Book Read. I am so excited that you are here to talk about your book, Two for Joy. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, Two for Joy is book 2 in my Survivor series. It's a 7-book series, but each book in the series is a standalone novel, a bit different really. But it's highlighting 7 different types of abuses. So each story will focus on, it might be systemic abuse, financial abuse, child abuse, narcissistic abuse. And this story is focused around a man who is going through, he doesn't know it yet, but he's really going to be hit hard by a unscrupulous woman who tries to completely financially destroy him, accuses him of all sorts of things, and he could possibly lose everything. And the first book in the series, One for Sorrow, is focused around a woman, and that was domestic abuse focused. So each story is, although it's fiction, it's kind of highlighting, shining a light on various forms of abuse wrapped around a fictional story. But the subject matter, there's nothing fiction about the subject matter, of course. It's just kind of raising a bit of awareness around those subjects, which is quite different to what I normally do. You know, I've kind of write a lot of romantic suspense, but I've kind of gone a bit darker with this series and wanted to get out my comfort zone. And you know, I've done a lot of research on the subject and having not a lot of knowledge about it. So yes, Two for Joy is the one that's recently been published. I'm currently writing 3 for a Girl, which will be out in a few months. And as you can imagine, 4 for a Boy, 5 for Silver, 6 for Gold, 7 for a Secret. That's the entire series. So yeah, I'm working on it. We're talking about Two for Joy though. My latest domestic thriller, which came out a few months ago.
And I just ask you quickly, how did you get into writing? Like, what was the thing that kind of triggered that?
Oh,
I'm going to be an author when I grow up.
Yeah, no, funny enough, no. I started writing when I was poetry and short stories, kind of a way to escape like you do when you're in childhood. And my love for it grew over the years. And I had half-published novels lying around my house in my 30s. And then I would say about 12, 13 years ago, I decided to go full-time, take the leap, published my first book. And 25 books later, here I am. So it's kind of, that's a very short version, to be honest.
Wow,
but
mate, I'm looking forward to 24 more shows then. You've got a lot of book reads to do, girl.
Yes, I have. And, you know, I think my most popular book, the one that's sold the most and done the most, is Amelia's Story, which has done amazingly. I self-published it in 2011. And it sold just over 500,000 copies, self-published. Yeah. So that was my most popular book. And I did a 3-book series. And then I went on to do some military romance, some romantic suspense, then some really dark romantic drama. Basically, there's always a romantic thread, but it's not always leading to your natural conclusion of your average happy ever after. You know, someone might lose a limb, someone might die, and, you know, and love comes to them in another form, you know, through a brother who's been looking after them or something. But yeah, so I class myself as a multi-genre author, and I write what fits my mood at the time. What story comes to me is, I don't fit into a genre as such. Whatever story comes to mind and I'm writing, that a genre has to fit around that story rather than the other way around. So it's better to go under the blanket of a multi-genre author to cover, you know, so many variation of stories. Yes.
So when you get a story about a short, fat London boy living on the mountains in Mexico with 22 rescue animals, I can tell you some dramas, sister. Believe me.
Oh, really? Do you know, I'm already conjuring up a story in my head. I mean, you've just given me a whole heap of
As long as I get to
be
be the soundtrack of the movie, that's all I ask. I don't ask any more. As long as I get one song in the movie, that's super cool. My lovely, I'm very excited about hearing about your book, Two for Joy. Would you like to read us some?
I'd absolutely love to.
Fantastic.
Okay, chapter 1. Verity and Aspen, 22 years ago. Screams echoed from below Aspen and Verity's bedroom. The slamming doors sent Verity running into Aspen's arms. Make them stop, Aspen. Please make them stop. Aspen pulled Verity closer, and they huddled in the corner of the room, as far away from the bedroom door as possible. The pounding feet on the staircase made them jump. It will be over soon, I promise, Aspen comforted. The bedroom door flung open. It's only me, girls, their mother assured, placing a finger on her lips. Stay quiet, okay? Aspen and Verity nodded, eyes wide with fear. Aspen noticed the blood dripping from her mother's forehead. Mum, she whispered. Shh, her mother urged, pressing her ears against the door, listening for any sign of movement. The house was eerily quiet. The only sound came from the rhythmic ticking of the old grandfather clock, perched against the wall outside the room. Aspen could feel Verity's heart pounding through her chest, so she rubbed her back to soothe her. The silence was abruptly interrupted by a loud thud, followed by the sound of feet ascending the stairs. They all jumped. Please stop, Chris, pleaded Please stop, Chris, pleaded Charlotte. You're frightening the girls. The bedroom door burst open. Chris, in a rage, reached for Charlotte's hair and dragged her out of the room. Verity screamed. Shut her up now, he yelled at Aspen before slamming the door shut. Aspen and Verity heard the repetitive thud of their mother being dragged down the stairs, flinching at every beat of the soundtrack to their life played out below. It took their mother over an hour to struggle up the stairs again. As she pushed open the bedroom door, her eyes fell on her frightened 8-year-old twins. Aspen and Verity rushed to her. Tears left damp trails on their cheeks as they hugged her tightly. Everything will be okay, I promise, their mother whispered, swiping the tears from her own face. Your father didn't mean it. He just had a bad day, that's all. He's gone out for the night now. Charlotte wobbled on her feet. Come on, let's make dinner. Aspen and Verity followed their mother downstairs. They could see the pain etched on their mother's face. She wasted no time preparing a simple meal. Verity curled up in the chair in the living room while Aspen helped her mother. Go and sit with Verity, Aspen. She needs her sister right now. But Mum, Aspen began. Charlotte cut her off. Aspen, please do as I ask. I'll manage just fine, I promise. Now go and sit with Verity. Dinner won't be long. Aspen hesitated at the doorway, glancing back at her mother who struggled around the kitchen, trying to conceal her pain as usual. Aspen then sat beside Verity in the living room. Sitting side by side, they silently comforted one another, their eyes fixed on the television screen, framed by the tattered curtains behind it. After dinner, Charlotte took the girls upstairs and prepared them for bed, doing her best to maintain some sense of normality for them. After brushing their teeth, they climbed into their bunk beds. Verity clutched her favourite teddy, while Charlotte tucked her in and kissed her forehead. She repeated the action with Aspen. Good night, sleep tight, I love you, said Charlotte, as her hand hovered over the light switch. Mum, can you leave the light on, please? Charlotte smiled. Of course, but only the small lamp, okay? Verity nodded. Thanks, Mum. Aspen raised her head. Mum? Yes, Aspen. Will you be okay? Charlotte forced back a lump scratching in her throat. Of course I will. Mum is always fine. Now go to sleep, both of you. Once the door was closed, Verity popped her head out from the bottom bunk and tugged at Aspen's arms, dangling over from the top bunk. What is it, Verity? I hate Dad, Aspen. I really do. He scares me. Aspen climbed down from her bunk and slipped in beside Verity. Come on, scooch up, she urged. Verity inched towards the wall, allowing more space for Aspen. That's better. Aspen? Yes, Verity. Do you like Dad? Aspen turned to face Verity. I like him when he's nice, but not when he's angry. When I grow up, I'm never getting married, confessed Verity. Good night, urged Aspen, feeling the weight of her eyelids closing. The next morning, Aspen slipped out of bed with quiet grace, donned her slippers and checked that Verity was still sleeping before stepping out. The house was eerily silent, but for the ticking of the grandfather clock. Aspen looked into her mother's bedroom, but it was empty. A sigh escaped her lips as she descended the stairs. As she reached the bottom, faint cries echoed from the kitchen. An uneasy feeling settled in her stomach as she pushed the door open. To her surprise, she saw her mother's sister, tears streaming down her face. Why are you crying, Aunt Rachel? Aspen inquired, moving closer. Oh, Aspen, I'm so sorry, Rachel blurted, her arms wide open to embrace her. What's wrong? Pressed Aspen. Chris stepped into the kitchen. Hey, is Verity awake? I need to speak to you both. No, Dad, she's sleeping. Where's Mum? Chris wiped tears from his cheeks and exchanged a glance with Rachel. Her eyes bore into his, a silent reproach. She dipped her gaze, shaking her head, and left the room. I need you to go and wake up Verity, Aspen. Aspen's eyes widened. Now? He rasped. Her father's voice carried urgency. Aspen's heart raced as she bounded 2 steps up at a time. When she burst into the bedroom, her breath caught in her throat. She shook her sister by the shoulder. Verity, Verity, wake up. Verity's eyes fluttered open. What's wrong? Remnants of sleep clung to her voice, but the urgency in Aspen's eyes jolted her. Aspen's grip on Verity's shoulder tightened. Dad needs to talk to us now. Come on, we need to go. It's important. Verity swung her legs over the edge of the bed. What's the hurry? She asked, her voice trembling. Just hurry, Verity, come on. The wooden steps creaked as they ran downstairs side by side. Their father stood by the kitchen window, silhouetted by the morning light. When they came close, they saw the sorrow in his eyes. Sit down, girls, he whispered. Verity and Aspen perched side by side at the old wooden table, their hands brushing against each other. Chris knelt before them, his gaze shifting between his daughters. There's no easy way to say this, he began, his voice breaking. I'm afraid your mother passed away during the night. Verity gasped and leapt from her chair, a scream echoing through the house. She fled upstairs, her footsteps a desperate rhythm on the wooden treads. Aspen remained frozen, her eyes locked on her father's tear-streaked face. Why, Dad? What happened? Aspen's voice cracked, and she fought back tears. Why? Her father turned away, unable to bear the weight of his daughter's grief. It was her time, he murmured, his voice raw. She's at peace now, I promise you. Aspen's emotions flared. You can't promise that, Dad. Mum should be here, with us. I want to see her. Where is she? She cried. Chris rested a hand on Aspen's shoulder, but she pulled away, tears streaming down her face. I'm sorry, Aspen, he said gently. The ambulance took your mother during the early hours of the morning. I want my mum. Aspen ran from the kitchen and into the living room, seeking refuge in Aunt Rachel's arms, her tears soaking into the fabric of Rachel's sweater. End of chapter.
OMG. It's her bleeding time. He's lucky I don't live down the road from him, mate. That's a definite.
I know.
Wow, what an incredible read. What an incredible
Thank
read.
you.
That kind of had me. I've got palpitations and everything going on. Really bizarre.
Thank you.
No, thank you so much for reading your book. I wish you
It was such a
untold
great
success
pleasure.
with that. Not seeing in the joy in the 2-4 at the moment, though. That was.
No.
I didn't know whether to cry, whether to throw something across the room.
Yeah, the two are the two twin sisters. That's where the two come in.
Okay.
And then in the next chapter, it's 22 years later. They're 30 years old, and one's a good sister, one's a bad sister.
Oh, nice.
And she carries the burden of her sort of father's ills and hates all men and targets Jasper, a lovely guy who's grieving the loss of his brother and already feeling the guilt of that.
Oh my God, I'm loving the sound of this book, mate.
Yeah.
You're a genius. That's incredible. Wow.
Thank you.
People at home, if you're not desperate to get onto Amazon website and order that bloody book, then I don't know what's wrong with you, quite frankly. You're obvious.
Thank you.
Really? So it's available. This book is solely available on Amazon. Am I correct?
Yes, in paperback and on Kindle. Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. You need to.
Thank you.
With the way you read it as well, that had me gripped. You need to do an audio book, mate.
Thanks.
That was really cool.
I thought of that. Thank you.
Cool.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
People at home, you've met her, you obviously love her, and oh my God, you're obviously gripped by that book. So please go to Amazon. You'll see where you can purchase the book on the title of this show. So please go and copy the link, paste it into the toolbar, and not toolbar, whatever it is, search bar, I guess, and make sure you go straight to Amazon and go and purchase that book. And like D.G.Torrens says, well, it's available on Kindle, so there's no excuse, quite frankly. If you have any questions for the author, please write them on the comments of this show. And when we have some really good questions, me and D.G.Torrens are going to get back together again and do a Q&A. So if you want to hear more about it, more about the inspiration of it, more about some of the other books, then make sure you ask some questions. D.G.Torrens, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was such a pleasure. Thank you.
It was wonderful. And we'll catch up again for another book read of another one of your wonderful 25 book collection.
Thank you. Look forward to it. Thank you.
You take care. Big love. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.